Welcome back to Sustainability Essentials. I'm Kiarne Treacy, the founder and CEO at Sustainability Tracker, here with Tamara Somers, the GM of Sustainability at Xero. We are here to answer your most commonly asked questions about sustainability for small business. Let's go straight to the elephant in the room. There are political shifts in countries like the USA, upcoming elections in Australia. Some small businesses are hesitant to take action on sustainability because they think it might be a waste of time. Maybe they're going to waste their money, it's a waste of importance. Do you think that they should be waiting to see what happens here before they take action?
No, I don't. And that's probably not surprising from someone in my position, but let me talk a bit about why. Fundamentally, sustainably managing your business is about good risk management. What you're trying to do is make sure that the business that you have will still be operational, down the track years from now. Just because we have some political shifts in parts of the world doesn't mean the climate is going to stop changing. It doesn't mean that energy prices are going to stop changing. It doesn't mean that waste is suddenly going to be easier to dispose of. And so the same challenges will be there for businesses to manage, regardless of the political environment. And we really saw that when we had a period in Australia where we had a government that wasn't so supportive of action on climate change. We had a Prime Minister who carried a lump of coal into the Parliament and said, don't be afraid of this. That didn't stop businesses in Australia from pursuing more sustainable practices because they understood that if they're going to manage their business for the long-term benefit of all their stakeholders, so that's not just their shareholders, but their customers, their employees, and the communities where they operate, then they needed to be managing those long-term risks in the business. Now that could sound like it's a little hard to transfer onto a small business opportunity, but if you think about it, if you're a tradie and you're running a vehicle to run your business, we will get to a point where fuel will become prohibitively expensive and you will be far better running an electric vehicle than running an internal combustion engine vehicle. We're probably almost at that point now in terms of the longer term payoff of EVs. So you want to be thinking about, how do I stay ahead of the curve and make sure that I'm managing that risk and make sure that I have somewhere in my business plan the fact that I'm going to transition to an EV. It can be really simple steps like that small businesses can take that help them to manage those risks that come from long-term shifts and changes.
And overall, when we think about sustainable business, and I think we use the word sustainability really closely linked to the environment right now, but a good sustainable business is one that can exist, that can be commercially viable, that can generate enough revenue to continue to exist in its current form. And the sustainability, the environmental impact and the environmental part of this is still relevant to a small business. And if not governments, then potentially supply chain partners, investors, retail partners and things like that. So there are other stakeholders and other eyes that are overseeing you in this, not just these few regulations and the potential changes of government.
That's right. I think there are a lot of drivers for sustainability. It might be that you want to appeal to your consumer base. It might be that you want to be the most efficient business that you possibly can and use your resources well. It might be that, as you say, you're tendering for contracts or supply arrangements with larger organisations who have their own benchmarks and KPIs that they need to meet. Whatever the reason, it makes good business sense to think about this as the long-term durability of your business.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. Whether the political climate changes or not, the real climate is going in one direction.